first, and welcome all those who are new to the channel. Boy, during these times, what we do becomes even more pertinent because we are well aware that some of you are stuck at home. There's no other way of saying that. So we're getting requests that have to do along the lines of solo training, where you don't have another warm body. So we'll be bringing you, we have that in mind basically. And one of the requests that we had has to do with switching the cane from one hand to the other. Specifically, hey, I'm walking with my dog and sometimes I might find the need to go ahead and do this. You know that we're big on grip strength, so that when you're holding on to that and you have to switch from here to here, I'm going to be sharing with you drills and exercises that increase your kinesthetic sense with the cane. This is something that's very familiar to those of you that practice and are part of what is combat cane spinning, right? So spinners and those who are into maneuvering the cane, you're very familiar with this. And this is one of those times that this is so timely and it's so effective, because again, it lends itself beautifully to solo training. So let me jump right in there. I'll give you 3 or 4 exercises, maybe 3 and a bonus in there, as far as maneuvering and increasing your kinesthetic sense and going from one hand to the other. This that I'm doing right here, without looking at the cane, this is one way of doing that in both a standard grip. For those of you that are new, standard grip, this is the horn. This is the horn. The horn is pointing towards you. When it's pointing away, then this is a reverse grip, and ACSD only teaches you those 2 methods of carrying. We're not really big on carrying the cane up here like a suitcase. That calls attention to itself, or really any other way than that tip making contact with the ground. There's no need to call attention to yourself. We believe that the reverse grip is easier from the ergonomics point of view, from here to just choking up and springing into action. Choking up is the most overlooked physical component of cane. In other words, going from here to here. If you're just starting off, you may find that you have too much cane or not enough. Choking up from the standard grip is just going from here to here, and that needs to be practiced as well. So drills that you can do, the most basic of it is where you're doing figure 8 and switching. We keep a cover hand here, right? And it's just going from one to the other. We're not really looking at the cane, and so that allows us to move. Notice also that the movements aren't big, gross. We keep that elbow in and the flexibility in the wrist, and I'll slow that down. See how that switches, and you're switching. That is the most basic and elemental fundamental of switching from one hand to the other. Another way of switching over is to practice it from chambering. This is a chambered position, right? So it's familiar to you. You're done with your power shot exercise. You're going to switch from one hand to the other. The horn is down. You're going to place your hand on that shaft and explode from there, right? And so you practice moving from one side, chambering that again, moving to the other with a power shot. We use a 5 power shot template. It's not terribly complicated. It's designed to work with a gross motor response. So if I'm moving here, that's a number 5. If I decide to step up here, that's your number 4. And you do this on each side. This is your number 2, for instance. But I go and I work this from each side. I can go low, bring it back up. I can go high. And it's still, notice that it's in a box. It's not all over the place where I'm leaving myself open. If I switch that grip, all I have to do is turn it up. So I'm here. Now I can move 2 ways. I can either take it from here and move, or I can go ahead, move that, and now take it to the other side, right? Bring it horn up and move from there as well. So this is another way of doing that. And if I were doing it stationary, I'm just going to move my leg back to make it congruent. See how the leg is back here? I step. Here's your other drill. And again, this happens low, concept of high and low, or we can strike low or we can strike high. So reverse grip, you're putting your hand now on the actual crook from one side to the other. Right? Bring the leg back so you don't hit it, going real slow here. Now, so you can see that. I can walk forward with it, I can walk backwards. Right? Drill so that you can switch from one to the other. If we move it up, one step up from there, it's figure 8 stab cover, and then bring it right back. So all you did here, you're still going from one hand to the other here, but now the movement is a little different, right? So you actually had to engage and switch over. Stab, cover, switch. Again, this is very familiar to those of you, especially if you're working at the advanced rank for combat cane spinning. This is part of your curriculum. From there, we can move over to shoulder draws. So you're spinning here with a backhand, you're using your backhand spin off of a reverse grip, and it's coming right over the shoulder. Right? You bring it here. These are all drills. There's your strike, bring it over the shoulder. It's a drill that shows you if you have shoulder injuries. So you turn here, this comes up a little bit, and that's where you want to be. Right? The horn, by the way, always moves to the outside. This is me slowing it down for you. Over. These are all transitioning drills that you can work from one hand to the other. And guys, the last one that I'll give you, this is brain training. The nerve system works this way. You have your eyes open and you're tossing from one to the other. You're not looking at that cane. You do it here, you do it, you're spinning that cane, then just close the eyes, right? Almost like you're juggling that, and you close your eyes and move it from here to here. That is all to increase your kinesthetic sense with the cane. It increases your familiarity to it to where you don't have to be looking down at the cane if you have to remove that cane, right? So some of you see that in combat cane spinning. If you have to react quickly from one hand to the next, what we call sleight of hand. So you're dealing here, somebody comes to take this cane, boom, you can move from there, and it's built in already. It's built in because you practice these drills. And that's the carryover effect that it has. Not just in an emergency, right, for self-defense, not just in an emergency, but for training your brain, right, and developing these skills. So no need to go quick with it, slow down and make it enjoyable. To that end, you've reached out, we've listened here. April 1st, we're starting the 6-week Cane at Home challenge, and that is where we're going to go live with you in a group, so I get to see what it is that you're doing, and it's going to revolve around, well, for those of you who are not are beginners to the cane, for those of you who have been training for a while, but you really have not crossed that finish line and attained your cane rank and done what it is that you need to do. Essentially, we're going to find a way to keep ourselves sane with the cane, all right, during this time that everybody is cooped up. So just reach out. There are other posts on this. If you're not on our email list to receive these communications, you need to text 305-745-7839 and just text over your email, and we will add you to that database because that's where that information is. But hey, you can always call us. We love talking to you, especially during these days. Let us know how it is that we can help you best. It's 800-289-8188. Guys, keep your heads up. Keep training. We're blessed to be able to still do what it is that we love, even if in confined areas and even if we're not allowed to go outside. And you can always go in the backyard and still enjoy the weather and go ahead and train. All right? Always stay safe and keep caning.